Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Aria Rose, and it's my great privilege to be the voice you listen to as you gently drift off to sleep tonight. If you are looking for a safe space to quiet your mind, a cozy sanctuary where the weight of the day can gently melt away, you have found it. Tonight, we are going to step away from the busy, noisy world and board a very special train. It is a stormy night, and as the cold rain taps softly against the glass, we will journey together aboard the legendary night train of ages. As we glide through the dark, you will walk from one cozy carriage to the next, meeting unique storytellers from different moments in history. From a peaceful scribe in ancient Egypt to a quiet monk in a medieval sanctuary, it is a journey designed to keep your mind just a little curious, while gently guiding your body into a state of complete and effortless rest. But before we hear our first story, let us take a few quiet moments to prepare your mind and body for sleep. I am going to count down from 10 to 1. With each number, allow yourself to let go just a little bit more. 10. Feel the comforting weight of your body as you settle into your bed. Notice the deep support of the mattress beneath you, and beneath that, feel the solid, unchanging support of the earth. You are always held. You are always grounded. Even when the world around you feels vast and uncertain, allow yourself to sink a little deeper into this mattress, letting the surface take all of your weight. 9. You are completely safe here. In this quiet space, there are no expectations, no tasks to complete, and nowhere else you need to be. Let my voice be a warm, gentle anchor for you tonight, a reassuring friend guiding you to a place of pure comfort, warmth, and peace. You can trust this moment, and you can trust that it is finally time to rest. 8. Let your awareness drift gently into your body now. Notice the places where the day might still be lingering. Maybe a little tightness in your lower back, a heavy feeling in your shoulders, or a slight clenching in your jaw. It is completely natural to hold on to the stress of the day, but right now, you have permission to soften. Breathe into those spaces, and as you exhale, imagine that tension dissolving like mist in the morning sun. This is a moment of pure kindness for your body, a gentle thank you for everything it has done for you today. 7. The day is fully done now. Whatever happened today is in the past, and whatever tomorrow brings can wait until the sun rises. Right now, in this exact moment, you do not need to solve any problems or think ahead. Your mind deserves a gentle break from thinking. So if thoughts try to wander in, just let them pass by like gentle white clouds drifting across a dark, starlit sky. 6. This is your time, a quiet pocket of peace that belongs only to you. You deserve to experience quiet, comfort, and deep rest. Let your body absorb that feeling as you sink even deeper into the softness of your pillows. Feel a beautiful wave of calm slowly washing over you from head to toe. 5. Remember that a quiet, peaceful sanctuary always lives deep inside you. It is a gentle, still place in your heart, untouched by the noise of the world, always waiting for you to return. Take a slow, easy breath and let yourself rest in that inner quiet. 4. Allow a soft sense of gratitude to fill your mind. Be grateful for the simple comforts of this night, the warm shelter surrounding you, the gentle weight of your blankets, and the absolute peace of having absolutely nothing to do but simply exist right here. 3. Now, let your imagination begin to gently awaken. Picture a beautiful, vintage train waiting at a quiet forest platform on a misty, rainy night. Its wooden carriages glow with a warm, amber light, casting a cozy golden haze into the cool darkness. 2. Check in with your body one last time, letting any tiny, remaining pocket of tension melt completely away. Your limbs feel wonderfully heavy, deeply relaxed, and ready to yield to the night. And 1. Completely letting go now, as we begin tonight's journey. The rain met the train just as it slipped past the last glowing streetlights of the city, and it has not let go since. You have come to this quiet, midnight platform the way we find all the best things in life quietly, and without quite knowing how. The vintage wooden carriages stand ready, breathing a soft mist of steam into the cool air, their windows gleaming with a beautiful, inviting warmth. A conductor in a dark coat holds a brass lantern, offering you a knowing, gentle smile as you approach. Step inside, out of the storm, he whispers, his voice rich and reassuring. You look like you are ready for a beautiful story. Now, you step inside and settle into the deep, plush velvet seat of the first carriage. Outside, the storm comes down softly over the dark, open fields. The rain washes over the glass windows in long, shimmering silver threads. It blurs the outside world and makes you feel incredibly safe and warm within this moving sanctuary. The conductor told you that every single carriage on this train holds a different storyteller from a different age in history. You are welcome to walk forward at your own slow, unhurried pace, carriage by carriage, century by century. You don't need to rush it all tonight. This train runs all through the night, and it is always exactly where it needs to be. The carriage rocks with the gentlest motion imaginable, swaying softly side to side, in a rhythm that feels just like a cradle. Beneath you, the wheels keep a steady, comforting beat against the tracks, repeating a low, hypnotic lullaby that whispers a soft rhythm of sinking deeper and deeper into the quiet dark. There is no harsh, electric lighting anywhere on this train. Every corner of the carriage is lit by the soft, living glow of candles in heavy brass holders along the rich wooden walls. Clusters of small tapers sit on the polished tables. Their little flames dance lightly with the movement of the train, casting a warm, amber aura that breathes with the rhythm of your own breathing. The shadows in the corners are deep, soft, and incredibly kind, wrapping the carriage in a blanket of complete peace. Far across the distant hills, a silent fork of lightning unfolds behind the heavy clouds, illuminating the night for just a brief second before folding itself away. You count the seconds under your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when the thunder finally arrives, it is a low, rolling murmur with absolutely no sharp edges at all. The storm is not something to fear tonight. It is simply beautiful company, keeping you warm, dry, and safely tucked away while the first storyteller waits for you just ahead. You rise from your seat and slide open the heavy wooden door, stepping forward into the very first carriage. Instantly, the air changes, becoming beautifully warm, thick with the comforting sense of sun-baked clay, sweet myrrh, and dried papyrus reeds. This carriage carries you back thousands of years into the heart of ancient times. Sitting cross-legged on a pile of soft, woven linen cushions is an elderly scribe, a gentle keeper of history, whose expression is a portrait of absolute serenity. They wear a simple, flowing robe of pure white linen, and a beautiful necklace of polished lapis lazuli beads rests against their chest, catching the soft, flickering candlelight. Their hands, wise and patient, rest upon a long, smooth scroll of papyrus, but they do not need to look at it, for the story they are about to tell you is engraved deeply within their memory. As they look up at you, their eyes hold a deep, reassuring quietness, a quietness that instantly makes you feel welcome. "Come, sit beside me," they murmur. Their voice has the soft, soothing texture of a gentle evening breeze brushing through desert palms. The night is long, the great river is patient, and there is no need to hurry. Let me tell you a story of the quietest home in the Valley of the Sun. The scribe begins their tale, transporting your mind to a peaceful homestead built of thick mud bricks, nestled along the banks of a wide, shimmering river. In this house lived a young child named Ketty. She spent her days learning the quiet arts from her grandmother, a masterful weaver of fine linens. During the high heat of the afternoon, when the sun blazed gold over the desert sands, the thick walls of the house kept the indoor rooms dark, cool, and perfectly still, allowing the entire family to rest deeply. But it was the arrival of the evening that Ketty loved most of all. As the fierce sun finally dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in breathless shades of violet, amber, and rose, Ketty and her grandmother would climb the mud brick steps to the flat roof of the house. To sleep under the open sky, the evening air would roll off the cooling water, carrying the fresh scent of river lotus and damp earth, brushing against Ketty's face and washing away any leftover energy from the day. Their gentle, silver-furred cat would pad softly across the roof, curling into a tight, warm ball at the foot of Ketty's linen sleeping mat. Its low, rhythmic purr vibrating like a tiny engine of pure comfort. Ketty lay back on her comfortable sleeping mat, gazing up as the first stars began to blink awake in the deep indigo sky. One by one, thousands of tiny silver lights spilled across the heavens like sparkling dust, filling the dark with a quiet wonder. Her grandmother sat peacefully beside her in the warm twilight, speaking in a low, rhythmic murmur as she pointed out the slow-moving constellations that guided the riverboat safely through the dark. The grandmother's voice was an unhurried stream of comfort, blending perfectly with the soft rustle of the linen awnings and the steady, soothing purring of the cat at Ketty's feet. Below the roof, the great river whispered gently against the muddy banks, and Ketty felt her eyelids grow blissfully heavy. Wrapped in the absolute safety of her family and her home, she sank down into a deep, effortless sleep, completely held by the peaceful night, while her grandmother sat quietly under the rising moon, watching the silver water glide by in perfect stillness. As the scribe's story fades into a gentle silence, you offer a quiet nod of gratitude, rise from the cushions, and step forward through the gently swaying door into the next carriage. Instantly, the atmosphere changes, turning cooler, stiller, and beautifully fragrant with the rich, comforting scents of sweet beeswax candles, old parchment, and polished oak. Here, the train transports you into a quiet medieval sanctuary. Sitting at a slanted wooden writing desk is a calm, gentle monk, his face lit by the warm glow of a single thick candle at his elbow. He wears a simple robe of soft, undyed brown wool tied with a woven rope at his waist, and he is carefully painting the borders of a massive, ancient book with delicate golden leaves that shimmer whenever the flame flickers. He has spent his quiet life in a peaceful monastery on a lonely green hill, finding absolute serenity in the slow, careful rhythm of his daily tasks. And he looks up at you with an expression of pure kindness. "Welcome, traveler," he says softly, his voice carrying the deep, comforting stillness of a quiet chapel. "Come and rest by the light. The storm outside may be wild, but inside this room, all is perfectly well. And I have a tale for you of a winter sanctuary." The monk turns the heavy parchment page, and as he begins to speak, his voice becomes a steady rhythm of pure comfort. He tells of a small, hidden monastery tucked deep within a snow-covered mountain valley, far away from the rushing pace of the world. In this sanctuary, it was the special task of a gentle caretaker named Brother Thomas to keep the guest cottage warm and ready for anyone seeking refuge from the bitter winter weather. On a night when the blizzard howled fiercely through the pine trees and buried the mountain paths under feet of soft, white snow, a weary wanderer arrived at the door, shivering and completely exhausted from the storm. Without asking for a name, a destination, or a purpose, Brother Thomas immediately pulled the traveler inside into the warm embrace of the hearth fire, wrapping them in a thick, dry wool blanket, and setting their frozen boots aside to dry by the flames. The cozy room filled with the rich, comforting aroma of a hot pot of savory herb broth that had been simmering slowly all afternoon on the iron stove. Brother Thomas served a steaming bowl alongside a thick slice of freshly baked bread and a warm mug of sweet cider, allowing the quiet sanctuary of the room to do its healing work. The traveler sat in absolute peace, listening to the soft crackle of the logs and the gentle, rhythmic tapping of the snow against the glass pane. With every sip of the warm broth and every breath of the cozy, fire-warmed air, the deep, icy exhaustion of the long journey began to dissolve from the traveler's muscles, leaving behind a beautiful, heavy stillness that made them feel incredibly protected, cared for, and completely at peace. Brother Thomas led the traveler to a quiet corner, where a wooden bed frame was piled high with soft linen sheets, heavy wool blankets, and a plush duvet filled with warm goose down. He had already slipped a brass warming pan filled with glowing coals between the sheets, leaving the bed incredibly warm and inviting. "Sleep now, my friend," the monk whispered with a gentle smile. "You are completely safe here, and there is nothing in the world you need to do tonight but rest. The morning will come when it comes, and until then, you may sleep as long as you wish." The traveler climbed into the warm cocoon of blankets, watching the soft red embers of the banked fire pulse gently in the hearth. As the heavy mountain snow shut the busy world away, within minutes, they drifted off into a deep, dreamless sleep, wrapped in the absolute safety of the sanctuary, leaving the quiet warmth of the medieval chapel behind. You step forward once more, sliding open the heavy wooden door to enter the third carriage. Instantly, a wave of gentle, sun-kissed air washes over you, carrying the fragrant, comforting sense of crushed wild thyme, sweet olive wood, and the clean, salty breeze of a quiet sea. This carriage transports you to a beautiful, timeless Greek island. The storyteller here is a wise, kind-eyed woman who reclines gracefully on a soft daybed, draped in a simple, flowing tunic of undyed wool. She looks up at you with a warm, knowing smile, her dark hair woven with silver threads that catch the dancing candlelight. "Sit with me, weary traveler," she says, her voice rich and melodic, carrying the soothing rhythm of waves lapping against a quiet shoreline. "Let the weight of your journey drift away with the tide. I will tell you of a shepherd, a sun-warmed hill, and a sleep so peaceful that even the gods smiled upon it." She begins her tale, painting a picture of a small, sun-drenched island surrounded by a calm, brilliant blue sea, a sea that stretches out infinitely to meet the sky. On this island lived a young shepherd named Elian. He spent his days tending a small flock of sheep on the rolling green hills overlooking a secluded, quiet bay. Elian's life was beautifully simple, and entirely untouched by the rush of the world. Every morning, he would guide his sheep up the gentle slopes where the wild grass grew sweet and long. The air was thick with the scent of purple wildflowers and the lazy hum of honeybees. He would spend his hours resting in the generous shade of an ancient, sprawling olive tree, sitting on a flat stone that had been smoothed by generations of shepherds before him, watching his flock graze peacefully under the golden sun. In the quiet afternoon, when the high sun made the whole island grow still and sleepy, a soft, cooling breeze would drift up from the sea, carrying the crisp scent of salt water and wild herbs. The gentle rustling of the silver-green olive leaves above him, and the slow, rhythmic chime of the distant sheep bells, created a perfect, hypnotic lullaby. Elian would lie back against the roots of the old tree, letting his body sink completely into the soft, warm earth, giving into a state of absolute relaxation. It was said on the island that a shepherd's sleep was a sacred thing, protected by the peace of nature itself. The quiet spirits of the island would weave a protective blanket of sound around him, keeping all worries far away, and letting him drift into a deep, beautiful rest that lasted until the sky turned to twilight. As the Greek woman's soothing voice gently fades away, you feel a profound sense of calm settling into your own bones. You bid her a silent farewell and move forward through the train, stepping through the next heavy door into the fourth carriage. Instantly, the environment shifts into a space of profound quietness and elegant simplicity. The warm amber candlelight falls upon dark, polished cedar wood, and a single, delicate cherry blossom branch resting in a slender clay vase. The air is cool, crisp, and beautifully perfumed with the earthy scent of hot green tea, and the clean fragrance of a fresh, gentle rainfall. Sitting perfectly still on a flat silk cushion is an elderly Japanese poet, his face beautifully lined with wisdom and absolute peace. He wears a flowing robe of soft, slate-gray silk, and beside him rests a calligraphy brush and a single sheet of paper. He looks up at you with eyes that hold the stillness of a quiet mountain lake. "Welcome, friend," he whispers, his voice as soft as falling snow. "Sit with me a moment and listen to the rain. I have a story for you about a traveler's intuktai in the misty mountains." The poet begins his tale, guiding your mind to a small, wooden inn sitting quietly beside an ancient stone road high up in the mountains. 4 generations, a kind, elderly couple had kept the lamps burning here, welcoming weary travelers out of the autumn mist. On an evening when a soft, endless rain began to fall, blanketing the peaks in white clouds, a tired traveler walked up to the entrance. The host welcomed him with deep bows and genuine warmth, immediately ushering him away from the damp chill. They brought a wooden basin of steaming hot water to wash the long miles from his feet, and handed him a soft, comfortable cotton robe. As he changed, the traveler felt the heavy fatigue of the mountain road begin to loosen and fall from his shoulders, replaced by the deep, comforting stillness of the room. In the center of the quiet space, the host set down a low table with a simple, steaming supper. A small bowl of fragrant white rice, a clear, savory broth, and a beautiful iron teapot filled with fresh green tea. The traveler ate slowly, listening to the perfectly steady, hypnotic patter of the raindrops hitting the wide tiled roof above. It was the most peaceful sound in the world, an endless, gentle rhythm that seemed to be washing the entire mountain, the old stone road, and the whole tired world completely clean and quiet in the dark. After the meal, the innkeeper's wife smoothly rolled out a thick, plush futon on the fresh straw matting, placing a light, warm quilt on top and a smooth, cool pillow. She lit a single paper lantern in the far corner, casting a soft, amber glow just bright enough to rest by, before bowing low and gently sliding the screen door closed to leave him to his peace. The traveler lay down upon the soft, inviting quilts, pulling the warm coverlet all the way up to his shoulders as he listened to the steady, rhythmic music of the rain. The drops fell softly upon the tiled roof, dripping gently from the wooden eaves into the mossy stone garden outside. Somewhere far away in the misty dark, a distant temple bell rang just once, a low, round, resonant sound that lingered in the cool air, before slowly dissolving into absolute silence. The traveler felt completely cradled by the quiet mountain night, perfectly warm, dry, and protected within the walls of the inn. The gentle sound of the rainfall wove its way through his drifting thoughts, untangling the last remnants of the day until his mind became as soft, calm, and formless as the mountain mist outside. He sank down into a deep, beautiful sleep, while the autumn rain continued to fall, patient and kind, all through the long night. As the poet's story gently comes to an end, a wave of absolute serenity washes over you. You rise one final time, the wooden floor of the train rocking ever so gently beneath your feet, and you pass through the last swaying wooden door into the very final carriage of the train. Here, the atmosphere feels completely different. Timeless, vast, yet incredibly intimate. There is no scribe, no monk, no shepherd, and no poet from a specific era. Instead, sitting quietly by a single, steady candle is an ageless stranger wrapped in a soft, dark cloak. Their face carries the gentle warmth of every fireplace you have ever sat beside, and their eyes hold a profound, unconditional kindness that instantly makes you feel safe. They have been aboard this train since the very first night it ever departed, and they will remain long after your journey is complete. Their only task is to share the final, shortest story of all, with whoever has walked the entire length of the train, and is now completely ready to sleep. You have traveled so very far tonight, the stranger says. Their voice is the warmest, most reassuring sound you have ever heard. It is low, soft, and completely filled with the spirit of rest, flowing like a gentle river of peace. You have traveled through ancient sands with the scribe, sat by the winter hearth with the monk, rested under the olive tree with the shepherd, and listened to the mountain rain with the poet. You have witnessed the peace of many lifetimes, and now there is only one story left for you to hear. It is the simplest story of all, and it is happening right here, in this very moment. They smile gently, the single candle flame reflecting softly in their eyes, and begin the final tale. Once, there was a tired traveler who boarded a beautiful, vintage train on a dark and stormy night. The train was warm, the wood was rich, and the carriages were filled with the soft, golden glow of living candlelight. Outside, a fierce storm rolled across the empty dark, but the cold wind and the heavy rain were kept far away. On the other side of the thick, cool glass, the traveler had walked the entire length of the train, through all the centuries of the world, and had found a little piece of comfort in every single carriage. And now, at long last, this traveler was completely ready to rest. The traveler leaned back into the deep, welcoming comfort of the plush velvet seat, letting their eyes gently close as they surrendered to the warm gold of the candlelight. They felt the heavy, comforting weight of their bodies sinking down, letting the seat take every single ounce of the day's lingering exhaustion. The gentle rocking of the carriage moved side to side, like a quiet cradle swaying in a perfectly safe and silent room. Beneath them, the steady, rhythmic hum of the train wheels against the tracks continued its low, hypnotic lullaby, singing of a beautiful journey into the warm, protective dark. Outside, the rain continued to trace long, silver threads down the cool glass, creating a beautiful barrier that separated the traveler from the wildness of the storm. There was nowhere else they had to be, no problems left to solve, and no tasks left to complete. Every tiny worry, every fragment of the day, simply untangled and floated away like leaves on a slow-moving river, until there was nothing left but absolute warmth, soft sound, and perfect rest. The ageless stranger sat quietly by the single candle at the back of the carriage, watching over the sleeping traveler with a look of pure contentment. As the night deepens, the night train of ages rolls steadily onward through the beautiful, golden dark. Carriage by carriage, century by century, candle by candle, the storm remains a distant memory across the open fields, only serving as a gentle reminder of how incredibly safe, warm, and protected you are right here in this seat. The soothing motion of the train and the patient rhythm of the rain carry you deeper and deeper into a beautiful, weightless sleep, wrapping you in a blanket of total peace that will last all the long night through, all the way until the morning sun rises. As the train carries you further into the quiet night, the sounds of the outer world dissolve completely. You are drifting now, suspended in a beautiful, weightless space between waking and dreaming, where only pure peace exists. Your body is wonderfully heavy. Your breathing is slow and perfectly rhythmic, and you are surrounded by an unbreakable wall of safety and comfort. As you hover here on the very edge of sleep, let these gentle affirmations settle softly into your subconscious mind, reminding you of how safe, valued, and deeply protected you truly are. You do not need to actively think about these words. Simply let them wash over your mind like a warm, comforting wave. I am completely safe, and my mind is at perfect peace. I choose to release the day behind me, leaving it in the past, and I welcome the deep, healing rest my body deserves. I am protected, I am cared for, and I am entirely worthy of this beautiful stillness. With every slow, gentle breath I take, I sink deeper into comfort, knowing that everything in my life is exactly as it should be right now. The storm outside only makes my sanctuary warmer, and I trust the quiet night to take care of me. My body knows exactly how to heal itself, and I trust it completely to rest deeply throughout this entire night. I release any remaining need to control tomorrow, knowing that I am fully equipped and ready for whatever lies ahead when the sun rises. I am filled with a quiet gratitude for this warm shelter, this comfortable bed, and this beautiful moment of pure, uninterrupted peace. As the train wheels keep their steady, hypnotic rhythm in the dark, I allow my mind to become completely still, effortlessly drifting into the soft, weightless dark. I am breathing in deep calmness, and I am breathing out the very last traces of tension. Sleep is coming to me easily, naturally, and beautifully. You have done so well today, my friend. As you drift away into the deepest, most restorative rest, know that this sanctuary will always be here waiting for you whenever you need a safe place to land. You can return to this night train whenever the world feels a little too loud. And every single time you return, you will find the exact same warm candle glow, the same comforting rain, and the same absolute peace. Thank you for journeying with me tonight. And remember that you are always welcome here. For now, let the beautiful darkness hold you close. Let the quiet rhythm carry you all the long night through. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Good night, my friend, and sweet dreams.